very hilarious to her that she's doing that in public. And again, I'm not saying, oh, before anybody says, well, you think Americans are any better? That's not the point. What I'm trying to tell you is this is the quality that is being led into the country. That's what I'm showing you here. No class, no morals. It's just no shame. This is not her country, and she has no shame. But let's move on here. So on this live stream on her TikTok account, she is going, she's having a conversation with a lot of other migrants and immigrants, legal immigrants in her live stream. Okay, so apparently the discussion here is about the shelters being overwhelmed. So here she's saying that I did have an issue in my brain, she said. And that's why I was allowed in this shelter, she's saying. And don't believe what the TV says. The TV is saying that the shelters are full, but let me tell you something. People are still coming in these shelters, she's saying. And somebody says that that's not true. But the devil's daughter says, let me tell you, they are letting you in. They just ask you for an address once you cross over the US. They ask you where you are going, but they do let you in. So another lady in the live stream says, yes, I understand you have to put an address. Go F yourself. And I'm confident that that person is an immigrant that lives here in this country, works hard, and understands that that's not how things work around here. Except, obviously, for these migrants, right, that are taking advantage of the system. Well, here on this other one, she is laying down such a tough life. And she's answering to the criticism of people in the comment section. And she says, no one here is telling me, Satan's daughter, I'm going to help you. Here, you need to rent a place? Here's $100. Here's $200. I'm going to donate. I am not asking for money, she says, but if you guys wanted to help me, you would. You get me? Yeah, no one tells me, here's a couple of $100 for you to save for a rental. And then a friend of hers on the stream says, yes, they love to talk trash about us, but they don't help us to find a rental or a job. And she says, the devil's daughter says, I don't live in their homes. I live from the government, not from you guys. I am here thanks to the US government, not being a burden to you guys. I'm not in your homes or anything like that. You're not supporting me, she's saying to the American people. This is thanks to the government, which in essence it is, right? We know that this administration is allowing this nightmare to occur, but she's so ignorant that she doesn't understand it is tax funded. And I left the Spanish audio loud and clear so that you can verify this with any other Spanish-speaking person. But if that is not one of the most disgusting things I've ever heard, and I quote, I am scared of the blacks, she said. So she continues, crazy. They're just crazy. Then she says, and before I share the quote, I do not condone, nor do I agree. I'm just translating, okay? So she says, and I quote, the blacks are crazy. Then she doubles down, and I quote, I am scared of the blacks, she says. You guys heard that correctly. And I left the Spanish audio loud and clear so that you can verify this with any other Spanish speaking person. But if that is not one of the most disgusting things I've ever heard, then I don't know what it would be. But between
you see, they still in this motherfucker selling rat. They still selling rat in this motherfucker. They've been doing this for like, 3-4 years now. Because of supply and demand. So, when they started giving out free bread via SNAP and HRA services, the same ones that you watching me get dog walked for, but yeah, the same one you see me getting dog walk for as a fucking birthright citizen. As these niggas blow red lights and they ain't going nowhere. They ain't never going nowhere. They just like blowing red lights. But yeah, anyways, as you see me getting dog walk and having to weed through the lies and bullshit, but they created so much of a demand supply because they were paying with it with a silent benefit such as SNAP, emergency food assistance and the like, that now our local grocers carry El Rodente. Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna keep on, as they say, tweaking and just making shit up as I go along in my wonderful sanctuary city where the birthright American is being written out of existence in real time because the handlers that got us all dry and ice, places like the Southern Poverty Law Center and the NAACP continue to play in your face while Governor Hochul tells you there are black kids in the Bronx that don't even know what a computer is. And your man, Gavin Newsom, I'm just like you. You've never seen me read a speech because I can't read either. But yeah, y'all keep fighting the power out there because y'all are making y'all daddies very, very proud, extremely rich, and your face are almost seals. And for those of us with an eye to see, we're fucked because of y'all's apathy and lack of action. Because as I was told once, I don't have any empathy. It's not that I don't have empathy. I know how to read the room. And I'm not going to sit back and let people keep just disrespecting me and playing in my face, in my house, when they're disrespecting all of our daddy's names that we don't know who we are.
¿A dónde van? ¿A qué parte de Estados Unidos?
Yo necesito llegar.
So this migrant recently crossed the border into the US, and this guy is asking her, "Where are you going?" And she says, "I need to get to New York. I need them to perform surgery on my daughter because my daughter, despite her previous surgery, she has a valve in her head. And she had hip surgery and she's able to move her legs, but she has a tendon issue." So he says, "Did you bring money? Because, the surgery is not free." She says, "I know it's not free." So he says, "It's really expensive." So she says, "I know." Then he says, "At what time did you guys cross the border into the US?" She says, 4 a.m. So he asked, "Were there more people or just you?" She says, "Just us." How was it coming over here?" "Well, it was tough," she says. "We went through everything. You get me? Tell me your story." "You came via train?" "Yes, we did," she says. "Via train, also walking. I have 4 months waiting for the CBP1 app appointment, but it never came." "It never came," he said. She says, "No, unfortunately, those that come running away from the law, like criminals, The bad ones get the CBP1 app appointment quickly. So the guy says, "What did the soldiers tell you?" She says, "They told us to go up north, but I don't know. We tried to go up north, like they said, but we couldn't do anything." "Did they shoot you with rubber bullets or tear gas?" She says, "No. They said if we didn't cross, then they wouldn't shoot anything. But, we are going to cross." Well, well, well. Hello, everyone. This is part of the entitlement mentality we've discussed throughout the years. These individuals know these services are not free, but they know how to use their story so that it can be free for them. The daughter said, "Hey, Mom," and then she's posing. And she says, "Look what happened." And she's showing, I believe, where she fell. And the other daughter is laughing. I'm guessing they were going down the hill and she fell with Natty on her shoulders. Just picture that for one moment. Here the caption says, "They took us or picked us up via helicopter." And these guys look like they could be either Mexican or American officials. The mother is wearing the same shirt she was using when going down that hill in the Darien Gap from that clip that we just watched. She did not explain where this was, but the daughter is disabled. I am guessing that they were assisted either on the way or sometime after they crossed the border. Who knows? Unconfirmed. I'm just showing you what she posted. This clip looks like it could be right before Nick. Yep, they're getting checked in. Well, she's getting checked in. And the mother is recording all of this. There she is, showing the bracelets. And then here we have her cheering her daughter up. It looks like she just completed surgery and she is waking up. And I did came across a post that was extremely interesting. So there is this receipt that shows someone's EBT balance of over $13,000 with an EBT cash balance of over $4,400. So you put those two together and it makes sense. The morons in Congress and in the White House do not know anything about the economy, how to maintain a budget, whether it's a conspiracy theory or just flat out ignorance and incompetence. It is a fact that this country is being destroyed. Now, who do you think that EBT receipt belongs to? Well, let's get started. Caption above reads as follows. There was a person that was behind a Venezuelan girl at a store, and that girl left her receipt. Would you believe the amount of money in cash and in food balance that the card had available? Well, a lot of people know that when they get here, they receive a ton of money. I will try my best to blow up the picture. The balance is right at the top. It says EBT food stamp balance, $13,401 with 82 cents. And EBT cash balance, $4,498 with 85 cents. Again, it is a little bit blurry, but it's within those numbers. I'm going to try to blow it up on the screen. Hopefully you can see it better than I do. But isn't that incredible? So